Hi, my name's Kate, and today I have a Sims 4 speed build video for you. Today I'm doing what I like to call my gnome home. It's kind of like a fantasy, I don't know why I call it gnomes, it's kind of like a fantasy, like dwarven inspired thing, kind of like from the Snow White. You'll see what I mean. Very cottage living-y, and the whole thing that started this off was like the water wheel object from Cottage and Debug. I have wanted to use that for like 2 years and I haven't ever used it successfully. So today was the day. Let's get into it. I hope you like it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and let's get into it. First things first, I'm sorry about my guinea pig cage being open. Sometimes I like leaving it open for them so they just have like some fresh air and stuff, and so they don't always have something over their head. So yeah, that is it. And if you see something weird moving back here, it is my Lily. She is in the recovery process from getting neutered, so she's just chilling back there. Don't mind her. Okay, jumping in to our gnome home build here. I built this in cottage living, and I had kind of like a reference picture that I was using. I'll put it on screen now, and it just really reminded me of sort of like medieval dwarf, like kind of like getting not like getting ready, but maybe they're like a blacksmith or something. That was kind of the vibes that I was getting. And obviously we had to use terrain a lot for this build because I was building like a whole river around, and terrain manipulation is always a bit of a headache, to be honest. It never really goes how you want it to go. Like the smooth tool does not smooth how it's meant to. But I was basically trying to make this river look very natural, and I wanted to put a bridge over it. I would have loved to have been able to make a curved bridge, but unfortunately I couldn't do that. I did add in like another non-functional debug bridge that was kind of curved in a minute. But yeah, I was trying to make this river look somewhat feasible. So I was having like bits where it was a bit wider and then a bit more windy and stuff. So the whole point of this is the water wheel that I'm going to use is going to like propel the water, and I'm not really sure what it's meant for, to be completely honest, but it looks cool. And that is the main thing that I was focused on. I was trying here, and I realized that obviously this isn't going to work now, but I was trying to raise up just a part of the build onto like a raised terrain area, so that like this part of the build was one height and this part was a different height. It didn't work. I ended up using platforms a little bit to sort of like try and figure it out because I really wanted it to be more raised. So I used a rounded platform, which again was a headache and a half. Anything rounded is so annoying. Once you put like a platform down, you can't put like a fencing around it because it just goes really funny. So I was just trying to figure out the shell. I knew that I liked the river. I didn't want to mess with the river at all. And I wanted it to look very natural, kind of like it was just like nestled in there. So like around the platform, I put like this stone platform paint, but I also went in later and used like debug rocks. I wanted it to look very, like I said, like medieval, old timey, just kind of like on the inside, I kind of made it a little bit like a communal area. Like I put like multiple dining tables and stuff, and I put in a few bunk beds. Like I figured I wanted it to seem like there was like a lot of people working here. They were doing like farming stuff. Maybe they were like I don't know. I'm not sure, but I put like this really old timey like chimney on, and I was just honestly, I really love the way that this build turned out. Like I said, I have been trying to do a build like this with the water wheel in specific for a really long time. Like this reference image that I'm using, I have seen many a times, and I think I've tried it probably about 3 times, and I could just never get it right. It always looked awful, but this time I just sort of like went at it, and it actually ended up really good. I really liked it. I was putting this pergola out, and I was putting like some stuff under it, sort of like a work area, like a workbench. I put like this sort of like hay and stuff. I was contemplating putting like a hay feeder, but I didn't want a stable for horses. I did end up putting cows in, but I didn't want horses in this. But I was putting like the log piles to sort of like power the chimney, and I was just putting in like a lot of stuff that looked like it could be from like a medieval workman place. I ended up putting in like the non-functional gardening table from like cottage living. So that space is honestly pretty much useless, but it just looks cool. I put in some chickens as well. Like I put in all of the cottage living stuff basically, and I also used like a bunch of debug on this, like a bunch of debug landscaping, and just like a bunch of debug stuff. And I also didn't have the better build by mod yet. I think I had installed it, but I hadn't like enabled it. Now I have the better build by mod, and oh my god, it makes building so much easier when you can just find a debug object and just clone it. Like, oh my god, why can't they just put this into the game? Like the people have already made it. But yeah, so I was trying to figure out windows. I wanted like really little windows. Like I wanted it to look like this thatched roof was like really, really big and kind of like over encumbering the house. Like just like a big shroud of thatch, if that makes sense. So I wanted it to look like the windows were really little and they were kind of like struggling against the thatch. I also put in these huge like weeping willow trees like around the river. I wanted it to feel a lot bigger than it is, if that makes sense. Like I wanted the house to feel small in comparison to the scale of like the scene that I was building, if that makes sense. Like I could picture this and there's like similar houses near it and it's kind of like in a little village. So yeah, that was kind of the vibe. This is the water wheel. This is the one I'm talking about. There are two. So I decided to go with this one. I had to play around with it a bunch because it kept like going into the wall and it kept just not going right. So I ended up playing with it a bunch and I was using a bunch of debug stuff on my house here. You can see using the debug stuff. A lot of debug stuff is really good. This is the bridge that I ended up using. I just like the little curve. Obviously, it's not functional, but I put some like little stuff out there as if it is functional. I put like some tires and stuff. Like I had a lot of fun with this build. I really, really did. I think like I've really been enjoying doing the fantasy stuff recently. I don't know. It's so fun to do like this like mystical stuff and like imagine the story that goes with it. So that's sort of what I was doing here. I was just trying to picture like kind of like these farming gnomes that have maybe fallen on hard times, so they have to like work extra hard and like band together. I don't know. I put like a truck in, and I also did some terrain paint to make it look like it had just like pulled in. That's another thing. I think it was this build. I did all of the terrain, and I spent ages on it, and I really, really liked it. And I went to take, I think, like screenshots of it, and all of the terrain paint had disappeared, and I was so disappointed. So I sat there, yeah, and I did all of the terrain paint again. And then I went on the gallery and I had already uploaded it with all of the terrain paint. So I literally just replaced the lot and all of the terrain paint was there. But the funny thing is that I actually preferred the new terrain paint that I'd done. But once you bulldoze a lot, you can't undo. So yeah, I spent a lot of time with the terrain paint. Like I've been having that glitch a lot lately where you'll spend ages on the terrain paint and then it'll just glitch out and remove all of it or remove part of it, and it's so annoying. Anyway, here I'm doing that thing like where I'm trying to encase it in rock to make it look like it's just sort of like nestled in there a little bit. It took a lot of fiddling, which is why I just cut there, but you can see it does now look like the stairs. I also made the stairs look kind of stone. They're like the ones from Seasons, and I just wanted it to make it look like it was nestled into like stone, and like that one part was raised up, not like on a platform, but like on some sort of like natural thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm doing like terrain paint. I wanted it to look like really faded pathways. I wanted it to look muddy. I wanted it to look unkept. I put in a bunch of like wildlife around, so like ducks and fish and stuff. And I also ended up putting like a little tent area out the back, like right at the end. And I absolutely love it. I think it is so freaking cute. I'll show you that at the end. But you can also obviously fish here because I put the little fishing sign in. And I'm working on the terrain paint of this, and I wanted to get it just right to make it look like it had been here before and it was just pulling in again. So what I've been trying to do recently is I've been really trying to like fade out my terrain paint. My biggest thing with The Sims 4 is that when you do like terrain manipulation or terrain paint, and then it just like gets to the line and it stops. When you go into live mode and you try and play, it looks so bad. Like there are so many houses that like I'm in love with and they look so good, and then I go into like play with them and the terrain paint just like stops dead and I'm like, oh my god, I have to move all of this. and working on the bathroom, I wanted to have it very, like I said, communal, like multiple bathrooms. I decided to change this because it was just feeling really squishy and I didn't want it to feel like squishy and like corporate, if that makes sense. I wanted it to feel more like rustic and homey. So I decided to sort of like nestle the bathtub in there. It's a really big bathroom, to be honest, because again, I thought I was going to have multiple bathrooms, but I ended up just sort of like putting two sinks. There's a bath. I think there's also a shower. There's laundry. There's like everything you could possibly want in this bathroom. And I tried to make it just like really homey, kind of cluttered. Like, I don't know. I just wanted it to, the whole thing to feel like kind of like woodsy, if that makes sense. Like woodsy. I also put like these little robes and I shrunk them because I thought they could be like the little like gnome, the little like gnome robes. I was having real fun with this. Like I put in this little laundry shelf. I was trying to like make a towel was like attached to it. This is the laundry that I'm putting in. Maybe I don't put in a shower. I don't really remember. I also shrunk the little shirts to make it seem like their little shirts were there. I put in a bunch of different like laundry thingies. I was just having real fun with this bathroom, and I think it came out pretty good, to be honest. I had like quite a lot of detail in the end, like a lot of like planty stuff, because again, I want it to feel very like rustic, like everything is like handmade. Is kind of the vibe I was going for. Like the lighting is handmade. Maybe it's like off the grid. I don't know if it is actually off the grid, but just sort of like a remote little area that is very like in tune with nature and has a lot of nature elements in it. Like I was using these vine curtains from the Blooming Rooms kit, and I think they really add. Honestly, I love these curtains. I think they really add like a little magical element to like any build. I use them a lot. They're probably one of my most used items, but I think they look super cute. And I added in two entryways to this. So there is one that goes in, I think it's like straight to the bedroom, and that is where like the wood is and stuff, and like this little get together thing. And then there's like the front door. So again, this is not really like a traditional house. I did want it to be a bit different. I tried like I put this like duck topiary on the roof as well. I don't know why I did that. But there's a duck there, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to make it feel very like they had come here, they had settled, and they had built this place themselves, you know? And I think I ended up with that vibe pretty darn good. It looks really cute. But this place is like very communal. So the layout is very different to what I'm used to. Like it's really not a traditional home at all. The kitchen is huge because like I wanted multiple dining areas. There's quite a big like living area, and there's like multiple. Well, there's two bedrooms, but one of them has a double bed, and then the other one has two bunk beds, I believe. So you can sleep six Sims here. I wanted it to obviously be seven for the seven dwarves, but you can fit six. Maybe the seventh one. Maybe you could have three dwarves in, well, three gnomes in the double bed. Maybe you could do that. So yeah, I did want it to fit seven, but it does not. But to be honest, for what I was going for, I was impressed that I could fit six Sims in here. I decorated the bunk bedroom not like a kid's room because it's I don't there's no kids here in my mind. Like there's no kids. It's all just like grown adults, I guess. I think, yeah, grown adults. I used a little London telephone booth and I shrunk it all the way down because I thought it made like a really cute, like knick-knack kind of thing. Whenever I think of like dwarves and stuff, it does really make me think of like pubs, and it makes me think of like Britain for some reason. I don't know why that is. But that's the vibe it gives me. It gives me like a really like kind of like Tudor style, like really warm pub where they've got like the fire going and they've got all of the uneven flooring and you have to go up the staircase that's like really freaking dodgy and like really narrow and steep and just like that's what it reminds me of. I'm trying to figure out what to do about the other bedroom now because I'm like, initially, I guess I pictured this being like a one bedroom house, but then as I was going on with it, like I didn't know about gnomes in the first place. So as I was going on with it, I was like, no, I need to add in more beds. And I use these werewolves ones because werewolves also has that style where it is very much like handmade. And I really love it. It looks so like DIY put together. It's so cute. So this is the bedroom for, I don't know if they're like guest dwarves, guest gnomes. I keep calling them dwarves because I'm thinking of like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, not like, little people. So I'm more thinking like gnomes, but dwarves as in like the Snow White thing is what I'm thinking of. But I don't know if they're like guest gnomes or if they live here. I don't know why they have bunk beds and the other ones, maybe the other ones are in a couple. I don't know. I don't know the story here. I tried doing a different wallpaper because I didn't want the same wallpaper everywhere. So I went with this one from Realm of Magic because I love how, I guess, planty it is. Again, I wanted everything to be really planty and like kind of magical, just really like cozy feeling was the vibe. And I also struggled a little bit because obviously I had quite a big platform area at the back. So I had to sort of transition the platforms throughout the house. And I hate it when the platform comes up and then there's a doorway and the platform's down on the next one. It really bugs me, even though I'm fairly certain it's functional. I just really hate it. So I always make sure that there's like a doorway and there's a bit of a platform and then it drops down. But it means I had to use quite a lot of space in the house just figuring out like the platforms and where they were going to go. I also had this very large rectangular room and I didn't know what to do with it. I was trying to split it up into different sections, but it just was not working. So I end up putting like a wall in the middle. I think I'll do it in a second. And I make like two little sections. One is like a reading library section. The other is more like a TV, well, not like a TV, but like a fireplace area. I'm not sure that I put a TV in this build actually. I may have put like a eco lifestyle one, but I can't remember. But I was just trying to make this like really planty, like I don't know. I was just like really feeling all of the vibes, like all of the magical vibes with this one. And honestly, this is probably, I want to say, one of my favorite houses that I've built in a bit, but honestly, I've been, not to toot my own horn, but I've been on a bit of a roll recently in like building houses that I really like. I've built a lot of houses recently that I'm really proud of and like I'm just obsessed with. Like I said, I've been building a lot more like fantasy stuff, and I think that's why I like it so much more. Um, but yeah, this house, especially the exterior, is probably, I'm very proud of it. It's probably one of the ones that I'm the most proud of, just because of all the different terrain manipulation, all the different debug items and stuff. Like I tried to really tell a story with this one, and I think it came across. I also put in some easels and some like crafted guitars, crafted violins. I also put in this like candle making station because again I thought maybe they could like make their own stuff. It's very like self-sufficient here. I also put in like a woodworking table up here in sort of like this little like crafty area. I wanted to put in a piano, so this is when I put in the wall because I really wanted a piano. I could just picture them playing the piano while they're like having a beer or something. So yeah, we have like a little library section, we have a piano section, we have like a chill section. I did not put in a TV. I also put in like a mirror and just some cute stuff. I think the wall in the middle honestly really helped to divide this room. Honestly, I was not loving it before. I think it looked really weird, but with the wall in the middle, especially from like walk-in perspective, like tab mode, it looks so much better because it's just like more closed off and like it's nice to have separation. But I'm working on the kitchen a little bit and you can see like the two little things. The kitchen, I wanted it to be very big, very welcoming, and very just like, I don't know, I just wanted it to feel really like anyone could come here for like food kind of thing, kind of like a soup kitchen, I guess. So I wanted to make sure that there was a lot of different stuff. I wanted to make sure there was a lot of counters, there was a lot of seating. I just wanted this place to feel really welcoming because I don't know, I just feel like the gnomes would like welcome people and like want everyone to be like part of their like foresty love. I don't know. But yeah, the kitchen I really like. I just tried to make everything really cluttered and just I went ham with everything. Like, there's a lot of like Realm of Magic bookshelves literally everywhere. Honestly, I struggled a little bit in the kitchen because there was no windows. Where I had that pergola and I wanted the pergola outside and I wanted it to have a bunch of like different crafting, well, it's not actually functional, but crafting looking stuff and like work looking stuff that I couldn't put a window. And typically I would put a window in my kitchen and I would put like the sink in front of it. So in this build in general, I was really struggling because there was a lack of windows, and the windows that I did have were very small and in kind of like odd places. So, especially in the kitchen, I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't really figure out the cabinets. I wanted it to wrap around the fridge so that I could have the microwave. I wanted it to be in line with the bookshelves, and obviously, I wanted it to be very cluttered. So, I really, really struggled in making it look purposeful and like making it seem like you didn't need the window or trying to take your attention away from the window. I think I did a good job, to be honest. I built this a couple weeks ago, so like seeing it is kind of like refreshing me, and I'm like looking at it and thinking like different things that I could have done. Like this wall in the middle that I used to section it, I think if I'd have used stone on that, it would have looked like even better. Um, so yeah, it's always fun to like come back to these builds after a little bit and see them. And I just put up a couple of postcards because I figured maybe they've been traveling, maybe they have friends that come over and bring them postcards or send them postcards. I put like a debug post box outside. I used to see them, especially in North Wales or in Nottingham, sometimes they would have like houses would have like little post boxes on them and you'd post your post there. I used to love those. But these are the tents I'm using. These are from Get Famous and I don't think they're functional. But I made this little like medieval scene outside where they've got like the little pot like roasting and they've got some tents, and I pictured that this could be like where the stay over guests stay. So the gnomes come, they come in for food, they come in for chill and stuff, but if there's not enough beds they can sleep outside in the tent. And it was just really cute, and honestly I don't know when else you would really use these items from Get Famous apart from in like a weird scene like this. I think they're meant for like pirates or something, but I used it in this sense for like my gnomes. And honestly, it looks really cute. I wish they were functional. I don't think they are. But in live mode, I'm fairly certain like the fire crackles, and I think maybe the tent fabric moves. I could be wrong. But I'm literally just putting in the final touches now. We're putting in some ruggies. I'm putting in like some artwork and stuff. And yeah. Honestly, this build is pretty much done and it's so fun. I was trying to find room to put stuff, but like literally every surface had pretty much been covered. This is very is it eclectic where it's like jam packed full of stuff, especially the kitchen. Like it is like there is stuff everywhere. But honestly, I really liked it and I think it really, really fit the style. Like, so this is the house, well, the cottage in live mode. So you can see, I wish the lighting was better, but you can see that the water wheel actually spins. I don't know if there's like an animation with like water. There isn't, but it actually spins. There's like bunnies. There are like little things just everywhere. This is like so magical. Oh my god, she's splashing in the water. Stop. So yeah, this is my little cottage. It looks so. I might actually just let me just really quickly. I'm gonna buy a cow, just dead quick. Go on, Mr. Cow. I just want to see it there. So yeah, we have the cow over there. Oh my god, this looks so cute. And I tried to make sure that none of this would impede on his area. It looks like that might glitch a little bit. But yeah, this is it. It looks so cool in live mode. Like I'm obsessed with this. So this is like my little tent area, like I said, like it crackles. And do the tents move? Maybe a tiny bit, but this is like it's so freaking adorable, and you can see all the little dragonflies and stuff, and there are more animals around here. She best not be messing up my house, I swear to god. But like if you come here, we have like sort of like the wood area, and I also put this here. This to me always looks like a wood chopping thing. I know it's meant to be like a sundial, but it always looks like a wood chopping thing. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Go over here. Go away. But yeah, it always looks like a wood chopping thing to me. So I put that there, and then this is like the wood that they've chopped. This is some wood here. What can't this bunny get to? I don't know. And then some like woodwork and stuff. This is the little post box I was talking about. We sometimes have these in England on the side of houses. And I just put here like a lot of different stock stuff. So yeah, just a bunch of different like items that they might need to do various chores or various works. Okay, if we walk inside the home, this is just so cozy to me. Like all of the little chairs and stuff. This is like just really really cozy and magical, and I really really like it. I like a lot how the kitchen turned out. Like I said, I really wasn't sure on it to start off with, but I think it looks cute. And I really, really love the little like two dining area section. We've got this beautiful magical archway. This is probably like my favorite view right here. Like you come in, there's the piano, there's like the mirror and the plant to your side, there's more bookshelves and just like a bunch of like clutter and stuff. Like this is probably my favorite area. But yeah, we have like some clutter, we have some plants, we have some like cross stitch and stuff, and then this is our little living room area. It's kind of like a little bit basic, but I wanted to make sure we had enough seats for everyone. So there's quite a few seats in here, and then we can go through here, and this is like the spare bedroom, the second bedroom, the bunk bed bedroom. So there's some bunk beds. There's like really minimal stuff in here because it's like kind of like a through room as well. I will admit the layout is not my best work. Like you have to walk through this bedroom to get to the bathroom and also to get to the main room, but you can also go the main room the other way, but it's the only way to get into the bathroom. But this is my bathroom. We've got like the laundry, we've got the bath, we've got the sinks. I think it's cute. I like this bathroom. It's a little bit dark over here, but I didn't want to use saucer lights anywhere because like that wasn't really off the grid to me. But I did try and put in like quite a lot of clutter and like make it look quite detailed. And yeah, they can do laundry. And then this is the main bedroom, so you can enter there. I just really like it. I like the whole thing. I love this. That is so cute, like with the mini telephone. Are you kidding me? But yeah, this is my why is there a chair there? Did I do that? I don't remember doing that. Anyway, but this is my my finished little gnome home. I hope that you enjoyed this. This was honestly so much fun to build, and I am really, really proud of it. I hope that you like it. If you do, please let me know by saying something nice in those comments. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. I'd love to have you. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.